From Arsenal's immaculate training pitches to the windswept terraces of the National League, Maldini Kacurri's loan to Morecambe reads like a crossroads in miniature. The kid who impressed staff and scouts in Arsenal's youth system and even earned a senior cap for Albania now finds himself in the thick of a survival fight, and that change in scenery is the real story. This is not a routine loan, it is a pressure cooker. At 19, Kacurri arrives in a side that has conceded heavily and must stop leaking goals immediately. He's expected not just to learn, but to deliver results under fire. For Arsenal, this move finally answers a question they have been asked all summer. Are you prepared to test your youngsters where it really matters? If Kacurri can translate academy polish into physical confrontations, aerial duels, and the messy, emotional weekend battles that define lower league football, he could return with a confidence edge and a new level of readiness that underpins a fast track into senior football. For Morecambe, bringing in a technically gifted centre back from a top club signals urgency. It says the manager wants to stabilise a fragile defence and that the club is willing to use every available route to avoid the drop. The real challenge for Maldini is more than tactics. It is coping with constant pressure, hostile atmospheres, and a schedule that demands mental resilience on top of physical adaptation. Every misplaced pass, late tackle or composure lapse will be magnified. Every strong performance will be used as proof that Arsenal's academy is producing professionals who can survive in the trenches. This loan also exposes the wider debate about how top clubs manage talent. Critics will point to months of minimal senior minutes and ask why such a player wasn't tested earlier in a more competitive environment. Supporters will counter that a carefully chosen loan, one offering consistent starts and real responsibility, can be the fastest route to maturation. In Kacurri's case, the stakes are immediate. A standout run of games could attract attention from higher divisions when the transfer window reopens in January, potentially accelerating his climb. Conversely, a spell of inconsistent displays risks stalling momentum and feeding narratives that the academy's brightest are not ready for the jump. On the pitch, the fit makes sense. Morecambe need organisation, composure out from the back, and someone willing to shoulder physical duels. Kacurri's technical strengths and reading of the game give him an opportunity to impose himself. Off the pitch, this is a test of character, of whether a young player can adapt quickly to a new town, a different training rhythm, and a fan base desperate for improvement. For neutral observers and Arsenal followers alike, the loan is a litmus test of the club's pathway. Does the academy produce players who can be hammered and reshaped into resilient professionals, or are their best prospects polished pieces who struggle when the stakes get raw? Over the next weeks, every header won, every clean sheet kept, every rushed clearance avoided will tell part of that story. Kacurri's time at Morecambe will not just reshape his personal narrative, it will feed club debates, influence future loan choices, and perhaps become the turning point people point back to when assessing a generation of Arsenal youngsters. In short, this is less about a single player leaving for a few months and more about whether top-level youth development translates into real-world results. That is why so many eyes are on him now, because this loan will tell us everything about the next steps for him and about how clubs build future first-team players in a brutal, unforgiving football pyramid.